Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into this special presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. It's cold outside, but it's fire in here. Welcome into the Thunderdome for the Chicago Wildcats taking on the New Orleans Pharaohs. Both these teams 2-1, ready to do battle and see what happens. Who goes to 3-1? Who gets to the top of the ladder? My name is Eric Vincent, alongside Gus Schultz, and we have Jeff Molinishin on stats tonight. What's going on tonight, Gus?
Well, we've got two really good teams in here coming in 2-1. Chicago has had the tougher schedule, so you'd look to them to be a little bit more favorites here. They lost to a very tough Vancouver team last week, whereas New Orleans, their one loss coming to Queen City and that mighty air attack. So, gonna be a fun one here tonight.
We're gonna head down to the coin toss, see how things shape up. Pharaohs are gonna call it in the air to start things off. Chicago wins the toss, and they will elect to kick the ball. They will defer. So New Orleans will get the ball to start things off. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. And as both sides get ready to go here, Chicago in the all black with the silver helmets. New Orleans with the gold helmets, gold pants, and white jerseys tonight. And we are underway here in Chicago. Fielded at about the 10-yard line, Aaron Arrington is going to bring it up the field for New Orleans. And he will be gang tackled at about the 30-yard line. That is where New Orleans will take over with quarterback Xander Gold coming out onto the field. What to expect from this offense tonight, Gus?
Well, Xander Gold has led this offense to the second best passing yard attack per game. He is also leading in quarterback rating, and it's not even close. He's at 122 on the season. I think the number 2 is at about 110. So look for them to air it out.
Logan Jack is going to get the first play from scrimmage for the Pharaohs. He brings it out to the 37-yard line. Good gain of 7 on first down.
Yep, and that's rookie Logan Jack. They picked him up with their 10th pick, and he's been doing pretty good work. 258 yards through his first 3 games and 3 touchdowns. So doing good things for them in a very pass-heavy offense.
And we will get to those rosters here in just a second as Logan Jack is met right at the line of scrimmage, and we will get to those rosters right now. Matt Wolf and Deezer Powell, the 2 wide receivers in this aerial attack here for New Orleans. Dylan Rowland and Clint Hendershot, are the linebackers. Blake Hamrack, Jesse Vick, the corners for Chicago. Maurice Spurgeon and A.J. Barnes lead this veteran defense for the Wildcats. Third and short coming up here from the 38, and Gold will pass to start things off here. He's got an out route wide open to Matt Wolf. That is going to move the sticks for a first down.
Yep, nothing crazy about that one there. The out route, one of the more popular ones in this league here, as the safeties and corners tend to play back and give a lot of space underneath to protect against the deep threat. So a lot of quarterbacks really favor that 5-yard out route when they need to pick up a first down.
4 wide receivers this time for Gold. He's got Jack sidecar left in the gun. Gold's going to throw. He'll throw deep over the middle of the field into double coverage, incomplete. He was looking for Wolf once again, but great job in coverage by A.J. Barnes.
Yeah, really solid coverage and a risky throw there with the safety help over the top and corners playing underneath that ball. If that thing doesn't land very safely on the ground after that, it's going to be a pick going in the other direction. So Xander's going to have to figure out how to be a little more precise with that throw.
2nd and 10 now, 2 backs in the backfield. Gold is under center. Turnaround handoff to Logan Jack, who's got a big gaping hole at the middle. And he will bring it out to right exactly at midfield. Clint Hendershot in there with the stop.
I like the call with the draw on 2nd down. We expect New Orleans to be very pass heavy, so you kind of fake that by delaying the handoff and then let your young rookie go to work and pick up a lot of yards to make it 3rd and very manageable.
Again, another 3rd and 3. I formation, 2 wide receivers towards the bottom of the screen. Gold's going to throw again on 3rd down, and again he's going to hit that out route, and again he's got Matt Wolf. They will move the sticks once again.
Yep, and again, we are right back to that out route. It's so clutch and automatic for this wide receiver tandem, and it's allowed Xander Gold to really rise up to the top of the quarterbacks here in Season 12.
I formation again for Gold, only 3 down linemen for the Wildcats as Jack makes his way up the middle. Modest gain of 3 on the play.
Yep, and good to see those linebackers coming up to stop this run. Logan Jack has been putting it on them. 3 runs for 14 yards on his first 3 carries. They stop him there for 3, and they definitely want to make this one-dimensional, force Xander Gold to do all the hard work himself.
Same formation for Gold. This time he's going to swing it out to Jack out of the backfield. Took a little bit of time to develop there as Dylan Rowland was able to get over and make the stop on Jack. 3rd and 4 coming up this time.
And Rowland was held up on that one by a wide receiver who'd gone up to run a curl route, so he had a little bit longer of a path to get there. You want to see Logan Jack recognize that and really turn on the speed to try and get that first down picked up there. But 6 yards, nothing to sneeze at.
Single back this time is Logan Jack. Gold under center. He'll take a short drop. Again, he'll throw the out route, but this time he leaves his receiver, Wolf, a little bit too much, and that'll bring up 4th down. New Orleans will have to punt.
Yep, not a bad start to things for New Orleans. You know, you come out, you move the ball pretty well on the ground, you get a lot of good completed passes there. Just one errant 3rd down gets you stopped. And if you're Chicago, you feel pretty good. New Orleans is one of the top offenses in the league right now, and to force them to punt on the opening drive means a lot of really good things for them going into this.
And Gus, this Wildcat defense is looking for a bounce-back game after the debacle last week against Vancouver, as we get a good punt there from New Orleans, a diving stop, but couldn't quite keep it out of the end zone. I'm not sure why Dangerfield had to make the dive there, but it propelled him into the end zone for a touchback.
Just doing everything he can to try and set up his defense to have a better shot at making the stop here, you know. And I love to see the defenders playing with heart like that.
So a 1st and 10 now for E.T. King under center to start things off. He's going to throw it to the far sideline. He's got the veteran tight end, Shan Varner, for his first catch of the ballgame.
And the word veteran is the best way to describe this Chicago team in general. They have no new players to their roster this season, and they've got 7 players who are in their 5th or greater season. This is a team that was built a long time ago and has stuck together through thick and thin, and they're trying to really make a good run here in Season 12.
3 wide receivers total for King. King's going to take a short drop, and that pass was read the whole way. Great play by the New Orleans secondary to bat that down. 3rd down is coming up here.
Yep, that's Roloman Hood, cornerback in his 2nd year, jumping this route. And as much as the quarterbacks love to throw these outs, the secondary guys are starting to see those and will come up and jump them more often. So a really solid read there for Roloman. And definitely want to see him get his hands on one of those, maybe take it back to the house.
Jared Willis, the running back there with E.T. King, Corey Carter, Buchanan, Simons, J.C. Torres, the wide receivers. And we mentioned Shan Varner earlier. As King takes the snap, he's going to check it down to the running back, Willis, who makes it across the 1st down marker and to the 30-yard line, which will move the sticks for the Wildcats.
You'd like to see this pass lead Willis a little bit further, but his big frame at 235 pounds, he's one of the bigger running backs that we have here in the league. He just bowls the defender straight over and picks that 1st down up anyway.
E.T. King in the gun. Sidecar right is Willis. King's going to throw. He's going to throw deep, and the pass is incomplete. Good play again by Roloman Hood. We've seen him and Aaron Arrington today. We'll get a look at the rest of the defense here. As Zig Washington and Ray West are the defensive tackles. Jerry Bertier, the inside linebacker. Mac McDaniel working at outside linebacker. Kappa Jones and Tank Bennett are the safeties for the Pharaohs as they line up for this 2nd and 10 from the 30. Offset eye for King. King's going to take a lengthy drop. He'll check it down to the running back, Willis, who gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good play by the defensive front for the Pharaohs.
Yep, that's defensive end Coleman Fletcher on the tackle there. Really a good job recognizing that kind of half screen, half wheel route run by the running back there and getting out of his blitz to go shut that thing down early. 3rd and very long now for Chicago.
4 wideouts, King in the gun. King's going to throw it quickly over the middle of the field, and somehow that is caught, and then will also move the sticks to the 45-yard line. What a great catch out there by Chicago, J.C. Torres.
Yep, and Kappa Jones practically inside the receiver there. They were merging and becoming one body, but it was enough separation to bring that catch in and keep this drive alive.
So 1st and 10 now for King and company. Loading the box is the Pharaohs, and they get to Willis in a hurry, only able to get 2 on the play. Good stop by Ray West.
Normally with a box that loaded, I'd like to see the quarterback check out of that run and get something different called, but we've seen so few carries from Jared Willis so far. I kind of like saying, hey, even if it's going to be tough, we are going to try to run the ball against you to keep this defense honest.
BT came a little pitch play this time to Willis, and that goes nowhere either. And guess who? Ray West in the backfield once again.
Yeah, Ray West leading defensive tackles in tackles, assists, and pass deflections in Season 11. He has been a real monster for this New Orleans defense, and so no surprise to see him getting in the back, blowing that play up.
Well, another 3rd and long here for the Wildcats. King's alone in the gun this time, and King's in trouble. Ray West is going to get him again. 3 back-to-back-to-back plays by the big defensive tackle converted from a linebacker.
Yeah, this is wonderful work from Ray West here. He gets a clean break straight through that line, and the offensive line just never realized where he was to go and pick him up. That is a huge stop for New Orleans, giving them their offense some pretty good room to work, assuming nothing crazy happens here on this punt.
I have seen the crazy happen. This time we won't see it, but we might see it later on. Good punt there by Chicago, and good coverage by the special teams unit to bottle up Aaron Arrington as he is dragged down at the 29-yard line. So a good defensive battle from these two squads to start things off here, Gus. Not quite what we were expecting to see.
Yep, and both of these teams have about middle-of-the-road defenses, so to see both of them come out and force punts on the opening drives for each of them is a really good sign for their defensive game planning.
Each drive stopped on their third down attempt in the news of the weird. This first play on 1st down is going to be for 4 as New Orleans makes the catch out to Hart. It's 2nd and 6 from the 32 coming up.
Yep, don't see a lot of tight end throws from this New Orleans offense, so that's something that they can pull out from time to time when they need to pick up just a few to try and throw the defense off and disguise what they want to do a little later on in the drive.
Under center this time is Gold. He's shuffling in the pocket, finds a wide open wide receiver, Matt Wolf, who's streaking down the field, breaks the tackle, and he's eventually going to get wrapped up right at the 19-yard line into the SFL red zone. Big time play by the Pharaohs.
Yep, the Pharaohs recognize the zone coverage. Chicago comes out in here, and they have the perfect play call for it, running that post route right in between the two safeties. There's just no bodies there to get up and interfere with that throw, so it all comes down to Matt Wolf's ability to break tackles and run with speed.
It was a bit of a duck as well. It probably got tipped at the line of scrimmage, but it was a little wobbly coming out of his hand there, Gus. First and 10 now from the 19. Single back is Logan Jack. Chicago loading up the box, ready for a Jack handoff. Not that ready, though, as he gets a good chunk of 5 on first down.
Yeah, that was, we call it the super duper heavy set there. They don't have 0 wide receivers split out wide, so that was going to be a run all the way. Logan Jack still picking up 5 yards there on first down.
2:35 and counting left to go here in the first quarter of action. 0-0 your score. New Orleans driving, though, as Logan Jack gets another handoff, barreling over defenders as he makes it out to the 10-yard line. It'll be another third down coming up for this New Orleans offense.
And this is an interesting start from New Orleans. Logan Jack is traditionally more of a receiving running back. He leads the running backs in receptions and yards, but they are letting him do the work with his legs this time, running right up the middle.
Heavy set for Logan Jack, who does get enough for the first down. It's going to be first and goal for the Pharaohs from the 8.
And he's averaging about 4.5 yards a carry right now, and when your running back picks it up that well, there's no reason not to use them. Force the Chicago defense to come up and play that run so you reopen up your passing lanes for Matt Wolf and Deezer Powell.
Another heavy look here as Gold is under center. He'll hand it off to Jack again. Jack following blockers, trying to keep his feet churning, and he'll make it out to the 3-yard line. Another good run there by the 10th overall pick in the SFL draft.
And Chicago defense continues to just be a little slow to adapt to the game that New Orleans is calling. You see New Orleans come in with the second best passing game in the league. You think they're going to throw it, but they're not throwing it right now. They're just running.
Well, now they're going to throw, and this time he's going to find Jack. Defense was ready for it, though, as he gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Great play there by Dylan Rowland and Jesse Vick.
And that's a hard play to run as an offense right down here in the red zone, because all the corners and safeties are so much closer to the line of scrimmage because the field is so short there. And you're going to have a really hard time getting that off. You kind of have to look for a wide receiver in this yardage if you want to throw the ball.
The Thunderdome is getting loud here in Chicago. 3rd and goal from the 3. Gold's going to throw again. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone, but that's tipped and incomplete. A.J. Barnes and Vick out there on the coverage once again, and we'll see a field goal attempt coming up for New Orleans.
It's really athletic coverage from those two guys there because the wide receiver was open. If that ball is up a little higher, we're probably calling that a touchdown right now. But Barnes and Vick have the ups to get in the air and break that thing up before the touchdown and save themselves from going down by 7.
Good snap, good hold, kick up and away and through. Chip shot from 19 yards for the Pharaohs as Zen Lee knocks it through and gets our first points on the board in this ballgame.
Now, a really, really strong drive from New Orleans. They start that thing off at the 29, get all the way down to the 2-yard line before they're stymied on their last attempt. So a lot of yardage set up by that really big pass to Matt Wolf. Look to see them doing more of that the next time their offense gets the ball, hopefully resulting in a touchdown.
That is their bread and butter as they like to air it out down the field. And the Gunners get there pretty quickly there on the kickoff team as Chicago is down at the 27-yard line. Corey Carter will lead the offense out here, and E.T. King will be the quarterback under center. 35 seconds left to go here in the first quarter as they stride up to the line. Looks like it'll be 2 backs in the backfield with E.T. King. New Orleans showing blitz, back out of it. King's in trouble, and he goes down again. Great edge rush there by the New Orleans Pharaohs defensive line.
Yep, New Orleans is a team that is very committed to the blitz with all the talent that they have on defense. And if you're E.T. King, you have to know that that pressure is going to be coming at you. You have to know where your check down is so you can get the ball out hot when necessary.
Probably see one more play before we hit the end of the quarter. 3 wide receivers for King, and he's going to throw again. He'll check it down to Willis, but Willis gets gobbled up in the backfield. Great play again by the Pharaohs defense, which will bring this quarter to a close. 3-0 is your score early on here in Chicago. We got plenty more action where that came from, though. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. King again will take the snap on a 3rd and long. He's got a man open, but led him just a little bit too far inward. JC Torres, I think, had a step along the sideline if they led him more towards the hash marks.
Yeah, that's an errant throw there, because if the throw is further out, that cornerback doesn't really have a good chance to go up and make the play on it. Instead, Aaron Arrington has a chance not only to tip it, but he could have come down with the interception there. And you have to make better throwing decisions on 3rd and extremely long like that.
So instead, we'll see another Chicago punt. Arrington waiting at the 45-yard line. He breaks the tackle, and he will make it out to the other side of the field to the Chicago 45. Great starting field position for the Pharaohs as Xander Gold and company come out for the offense.
Yeah, much shorter field for them this time than they had to work with last time. And you've got to think that Xander Gold smells the blood in the water right now, because he's been stymied from the end zone twice now. He wants to get those points up there and expand his touchdown lead.
Bunch wide receivers towards the top of the screen. Gold is going to go the opposite way to Logan Jack, streaking across the middle of the field. He gets no gain as Dylan Rowland and Clint Hendershot in there to wrap him up.
Yeah, those veteran defenders are going to swarm to those underneath balls like that. So you really have to lead Jack better on that so he can get to the outside and create more space before those defenders get there and initiate first contact.
We'll see what the Pharaohs can do with the best starting field position of the day. Hand off to Logan Jack, who's trying to barrel his way through blockers and defenders. He'll only get 3 out of the play as the Wildcats stop him at the 42.
Just not a lot of room to breathe there. All of the linebacker weight was right in the middle of the field, and the offensive line for New Orleans didn't do a good job of moving bodies out of the way. So very congested, and 3 yards is about what you'd expect there.
Gold's going to do a quick throw down the sideline, and that is incomplete. I thought for a second we had an interception by Jesse Vick, but it hits the turf as he's falling down from that diving attempt. Let's get another look here, Gus.
That would have been the most spectacular interception I have ever seen if he holds on to that ball just a little bit better. He lays out for that thing as if he is trying to score a touchdown-winning game in the playoffs. But the ground has other ideas, and New Orleans forced to punt.
That dang turf monster got him once again, but oh my gosh, I was speechless. I couldn't even say anything watching that. Gordon Gressmanis is going to come out and punt the ball, see if they can pin the Wildcats deep. Ball's going to bounce at about the 8-yard line. No diving attempt this time, and this time it falls and rolls harmlessly into the end zone. It'll be another touchback. Chicago will start things off at the 20.
Yep, and this is a really big drive for Chicago. You know, they're only down by 3, but this is their 3rd drive of the game, and they've had to punt twice now. They need to get down there and show that their offense can score some points. Otherwise, New Orleans will just continue keeping the ball away from them.
And normally the strong suit of this offense, Jared Willis, has negative yards on the ground. They're going to throw again, and this time it is incomplete. Again, looked like it could have been an interception by Aaron Arrington, but was out of bounds.
Yeah, Aaron Arrington going to be a little upset that he didn't get the toe drag on that one, because he wanted that in a bad way. Holding on to it, going through the ground, just like they teach the wide receivers. But those cornerbacks don't get as much training in keeping your feet down.
Some would say that's why they play defense. 3 wide receivers this time for King, under center. Good pocket this time. Forced to check it down to Willis, and again, this New Orleans defense ready for that screen play as he is stopped behind the line for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Garen Bertier has this thing scouted the whole way. He's in man coverage on Jared Willis. So when he drops out there, that throw may look open because of the way Bertier just shimmies down the field, but he is watching the running back the whole way, ready to stop it.
Trips towards the top of the screen for King. Sidecar left is Willis. King is going to throw. He's got a wide receiver down the sideline, and he's finally got a hookup with J.C. Torres through the outstretched fingertips of Aaron Arrington. Let's get another look.
And Aaron Arrington has been so close to multiple interceptions here. He just doesn't quite take the right angle on this one, but a beautiful throw from E.T. King to get the hookup when the Wildcats need it very desperately.
So that'll move the sticks. Wildcats definitely going through the air to start things off today, as their ground attack has been null and void. They're going to try it once again, though, with Jared Willis, and once again, he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Great play there by the New Orleans defense to get the stop, and that was Mac McDaniel coming in and laying the wood.
Yep, he is an undrafted rookie, McDaniel, coming in here, and he does really good work. It's a big, high-powered defense, and so sometimes an outside linebacker can get a little bit lost, but that's exactly where they need him stepping up.
Three wide receivers. King spinning around in the pocket. He's going to throw it deep, and he's got Shan Varner. Shan Varner trying to beat him to the pylon. He will. Touchdown, Wildcats.
This is amazing to get a tight end this open, that deep down the field, and then for him to have the speed to continue beating out those safeties there. Absolutely incredible. The throw is right on the money, and he's got nobody in front of him on his trip down to the end zone.
So an incredible play made by the veteran tight end, Shan Varner. Able to hustle his way to the pylon and beat the safeties. Pending extra point here for the Wildcats. Jesus Garcia on to add the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and through. So 7-3 now your score in favor of the hometown Wildcats. And those were the fireworks we were looking for here, Gus.
Yeah, this is great news if you're Chicago's offense. They were held so small in their game last week, and they need these fireworks, not just in this game, but in general. They have to get their spark back and get back to their winning ways. And a big pass to your tight end is going to do that really well.
Let's see what Aaron Arrington can do on this return. He is a dangerous return man. Spin move jukes one defender, but not the other five, as he's dragged down at the 26-yard line. New Orleans, their aerial pass attack just hasn't been as crisp as we're used to seeing. Deezer Powell's usually the one that we see on the receiving end of these bombs by Xander Gold, but we just haven't seen it today here, Gus.
Yeah, Deezer Powell has only been targeted one time, and that was actually a miss. They need him to get involved so their passing game can work the way it's supposed to.
Gold's got time. He's going to bomb it deep, and he's got Deezer Powell. There he is. First catch of the ball game, and a big one as they move into Wildcat territory. Going to throw deep, and he had a man out there. Matt Wolf was the guy he was looking for. Couldn't quite reel it in, and it falls incomplete. Just a bit of an overthrow there, Gus.
Yeah, and more than just the overthrow, it's kind of a reach to say, hey, we want to try and make all of this up on that one play there. On 3rd and 7, you've got a lot more options than just going for the deep bomb, and you're only down by 4 points. You don't have to go for that play right now.
So Gresmanis will come in and boot another punt, and a good spin move, and what a tackle there. That's the kind of tackles you need to make on special teams, and boy, oh boy, was he slow getting up after that.
Looked like he got hit by a truck right after that spin move there. I'd be a little slow to get up after that one myself.
But Corey Carter is up and running, and that was a hit, believe it or not, by a running back, L.J. Jackson, getting in there and laying the lumber. Full house formation as King is under center. He's going to hand it off to Jared Willis. Willis trying to follow blocker, still on his feet. Stiff arm, and he's got room down the left-hand side. Down the far sideline he goes. He's going to beat everyone. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Wildcats.
What an incredible run here. He lays the hurt on Kappa Jones, who you see getting up right there at the end. And then he outruns the entirety of the New Orleans secondary to make this one deep down the field, give them a 2-score lead. What a momentum shift for Chicago.
So 2 gigantic plays here, resulting in the 2 scores you see for Chicago. And we'll see Jesus Garcia attempt another extra point with 6:06 left to go here in the first half. And as he adds the extra point, it becomes a 14-3 ball game. And it looks like the big plays are coming on the side of Chicago. We were not expecting this coming into the ball game today, Gus.
I don't think anybody ever plans on seeing an 85-yard touchdown run, especially with that many bodies in the middle of the field. But broken tackles do wonderful things when you break them at the second level like Willis was able to do there. And that's the kind of spark that Chicago needs. They're a very run-heavy team. They need that fire out of the running back position.
So finally in the positive yards column is Jared Willis, and we'll have to see if New Orleans can right the ship here, as they have just been stagnant offensively, much like the second half in their last week's game against Queen City.
Well, and New Orleans is taking an interesting approach. They're going very run-heavy here, and that's a tendency breaker for them. They might try to fall back to the pass now that they're behind 2 scores.
And Gold will pass. Logan Jack coming free out of the backfield here. Good gain on first down, able to get forward momentum and forward progress out to the 37 for a gain of 9.
And this is what we expect out of the New Orleans offense. They use Logan Jack out there in the flat so frequently. And so now that they're losing, I think they have to go back to what they know is going to work for them. And that's the short passing game.
Gold this time with 2 backs in the backfield. Heavy formation. He'll turn around and hand it off to Gold, who's got the first down. And he'll bring it out to the 41-yard line. Good stop there by the Wildcats to limit the damage.
But another point to note here, talking about this New Orleans offense, is that Deezer Powell only has 1 catch off 2 targets so far. And you really think with as small as they have kept their offense that he needs to be getting more workload.
Definitely got to agree there. Xander Gold's going to go deep, and he's got a man. Tipped it incomplete. Couldn't quite get it to Matt Wolf. Great diving play there by Jesse Vick. He's been all over the place today, Gus.
The secondary of Chicago has been doing incredible work reading the throws from Xander Gold, who's just been either a little bit too far or a little bit too short to hook up on these deep fly routes. And so they're really going to force New Orleans to play a kind of chuck and dump game and beat them with that underneath stuff and the yards after the catch.
The 4th deflection for Jesse Vick just in the first half. We still got a whole half a ball game here, folks. 5:09 left to go, 2nd and 10 for the Pharaohs. He's going to throw towards the near sideline. He's got Matt Wolf finally. He's been looking for him for seemingly the whole half. Finally connected with him again, but it's going to be a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Matt Wolf been targeted 10 times so far, and that was only his 5th catch. Now, granted, he's at about 60 or so yards, and that's, okay on 5 catches, but you need to be picking some safer throws there. You don't need a receiver with a 50% drop rate.
Gold, good protection. He's going to throw it. And that's going to be a first down as he crosses the first down marker to the 31. Want to apologize for any technical difficulties, guys. Hopefully we've got things in order. Didn't miss anything other than a first down here for Chicago as they continue to drive down the field. And another great job running the football by Jared Willis. He's finally showing some action and some life here in the Chicago backfield.
Yep, and I like the extra work they're giving him. They've got a 2-score lead, 3 minutes and counting on the clock, and they are going to be getting the second half kickoff. So if they can burn this clock out, even if they only get a field goal here, it puts them in really good position going into the second half.
And it's going to be a 3rd and inches coming up here for Chicago. From the 40-yard line, clock continuing to tick away, getting closer and closer to the end of the first half. Heavy formation here for the Wildcats. New Orleans stacking the box, though, sensing a run. Who's going to... Aaron Arrington with the return, and he will make it out to the 29-yard line. That is where the 2-minute warning will sound. We've reached the quick 2-minute warning at 1:53. 14-3 your score in favor of the Wildcats. You're watching the ESFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
And New Orleans has a chance here to get some momentum back and not totally lay down, but they really have to get their passing game going in a big way. There's 2 minutes left.
Hand off to Logan Jack. Jack running it up the middle of the field to the 32-yard line. Gain of 3 there on first down. Quick Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time vibrations, brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat, and your purchase will support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome clean. So 2nd and 7. Gold's going to throw it deep over the middle of the field. He's got Deezer Powell out to midfield. They will run a little no huddle here. Three wide receivers. Jack gets single back in the backfield. Taking plenty of time here under center. Gold is going to take a short drop, and he's going to get hit right away. Big sack coming in there by the defensive front. They're still going to go no huddle. 2nd and 12 now. Gold's going to take a stronger drop here. He's going to throw it over the middle. He's got Deezer Powell on a diving catch, making it out to the 34-yard line. They're continuing to go no huddle with all 3 timeouts available to them.
I'd take a timeout if I was New Orleans. Get a better play called.
Instead, they're going to swing it out to Logan Jack, and Jack is going to get pushed out of bounds after a vicious stiff arm against Blake Hamrack.
And a good set of plays get them down here in scoring position. 34 seconds and all 3 of their timeouts. And a second and fairly short means they've got a lot of playbook that they can run through now. But I want to see Xander Gold take the big shot. Go for the end zone right here while it's nice and safe.
Gold under center. He's going to throw the out route to Deezer Powell, and Powell, I think, is able to get the foot in bounds. It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up here from the Chicago 28 within the kicker's wheelhouse here, Gus, but they're definitely wanting to get a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, I don't think the kicker's really an option if you're New Orleans right now. That still leaves it at a 2-1 score game. And knowing that Chicago gets the ball at the half, I think you have to prioritize a touchdown on this drive.
3rd and 4 now for Gold. Gold is going to throw near sideline, and it is incomplete. Receiver could not get his mitts on it. 27 seconds frozen on the clock, and we will see another Zen Lee field goal attempt.
Yep, and that was tight end Joel Hart on the drop there. And that's kind of a side effect of the way New Orleans calls their game, is that their tight end really doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get those catches. And that means that when you really need him to, sometimes he's going to be dropping that ball.
So it's going to be about a 45-yard field goal here. Bad snap, but a good hold there. Up and through, so 6 points now on the board for New Orleans, making it a one-possession ball game.
And Chicago has to feel really good about this stand there. New Orleans was marching down the field, started that drive at only the 29, And in that hurry-up mode, New Orleans really got a lot of damage done. But once they got the first clock stop, Chicago's defense took a breath, came out and refocused their energy, and then that was it. No more first downs for New Orleans.
So with 23 seconds and 3 timeouts available to Chicago, we'll see what they can do here. Depends on what kind of return they can get from Corey Carter as he makes it out to the 30-yard line. Clock will be at 20 seconds. I expect them to just kind of rest on their laurels a little bit here and just run into the half of what they got.
Yeah, getting the ball back after the half means that Chicago really has nothing to lose by just taking the knee and going into the locker room here. Whereas if you try to get down the field 70 yards in 20 seconds, you're going to put yourself at a big risk for a turnover.
E.T. King's going to throw a small throw there to Willis as he's caught right at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard there, but it looks like Chicago's going to be content with letting this clock run out and going into the half with the lead.
Yep, and that was rookie linebacker Mac McDaniel there. He's done a lot of really good work keeping Jared Willis in check there, kind of in the middle of the field on those short throws.
14-6 your score as we hit halftime and bring up the 2K Sports halftime show. We'll get you the first half stats and highlights here, and we'll be right back with you. We are watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Get a look inside the beautiful Thunderdome here in Chicago, Illinois. It is super, super chilly outside, but it's super warm in here. We got some great action as you're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Eric Vincent, Gus Schultz, Jeff Milition on stats tonight. And want to thank you guys for coming out and checking us out. 14-6 your score as Chicago will get the second half kickoff after deferring the coin toss to start things off. And Chicago right now, Gus, has all the momentum. New Orleans really needs to kind of pump the brakes a little bit here on this Chicago aerial attack and the rushing attack too.
And Chicago has been a much better throwing team in this game than we've seen out of them before. They're almost matching what New Orleans does. New Orleans is the second best team in the league. Really, the big difference has been Chicago's defensive stands in the red zone, forcing field goals instead of giving up touchdowns.
Screen pass to start things off to Willis, and he will get knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. Good play by the Pharaohs defense to force a no gain.
Yep, good start to the second half for this defense. You want to come out, keep Chicago from having a chance to advance this ball, and give your offense good field position for them to get to work and try to get you the lead.
King under center. Delayed handoff to Willis, who lowers his shoulder but could not beat 2 Pharaoh defenders, as he'll get a gain of 5 on second down.
Decent running there. Let's see what Chicago dials up on a 3rd and medium. They've been pretty okay on 3rd down. 7 attempts, 4 complete conversions. So let's see if they dial up this time.
It's going to be another run play. Willis just not quite making it to the first down marker. He'll be marked just shy of 35, and it's a 3 and out to start things off for Chicago.
And I have to think Chicago's going to punt here. You've got the full lead. It's 4th and 1. Just play it safe and trust your defense, which has been very good to get their job done on the other side of the ball.
New Orleans coming after it. Almost got there on the punt. Aaron Arrington going to field it just past the 25-yard line and will go no further, as he is marked down at the 28. So New Orleans defense does their job. Pharaohs offense coming out here, and I fully expect them to go and try and air this out, even with a formidable running back like Logan Jack.
Yeah, I think if you're New Orleans, you have to go to what you know works, and that is the passing game. You know, use Logan Jack in that passing game, but let Xander go to work and get it done with his arm.
Handoff to Jack to start things off, and a good stop by the Wildcats defense as they drag him down right at the line of scrimmage. Hendershot getting in there on the stop.
Yeah, Hendershot is one of those big veterans that they've had for a long time. Played his rookie ball in Carolina, but then came over here for his 2nd year and has stuck around now his 4th season in Chicago. And he likes to lay the hurt down on the inside.
Another handoff and another stop right at the line of scrimmage. This time it's Dylan Rowland getting in there for the stop.
And I believe that's actually Dylan Rowland's 400th career tackle.
That's a heck of a milestone to hit there.
I had him marked down at 399 at the start of this game, and I think that's his first one of the night. So congratulations on 400, Dylan Rowland.
Kudos to Dylan Rowland. Gold will pump fake. He'll throw it over the middle of the field, and that is caught somehow in traffic. What a catch there by the big bad wolf to move the sticks.
Yeah, this post route here really needs to go deeper in order to get through this coverage. By coming up short, he's not getting the safety split at all, and he doesn't really have a lot of space underneath him where the linebackers are. It's a very dangerous throw, but Matt Wolf, showing the safe hands, allows New Orleans to keep this drive alive.
High formation this time for the Pharaohs. Gold's going to throw out of it, though, and he's going to throw deep over the middle of the field. Tipped in the air, still and incomplete. I think every single Wildcat had an opportunity to pick that off there, Gus.
Yeah, there were about 4 sets of hands trying to grab that ball in black jerseys, and Xander Gold will be thanking his lucky stars that nobody pulls that one in, because that would be exactly the wrong way for them to start their second half.
So a 2nd and 10 now from the 44 of New Orleans. Gold is going to throw again. Good pocket. Throws it to the near sideline. Feet dragged by Deezer Powell, and he will be just shy of the first down marker, but a good gain of 9 there brings up 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short, a lot better than 3rd and medium or 3rd and long. So 9 yards on 2nd down is going to be a good thing. Now it's the question of, do they try to run something tricky, or are they going to trust Logan Jack to pound this ball? And they are going empty set, so that's what they think about that.
Clearly going to the air, and going to the air they will. Again, leading him just a little bit too far out of bounds. Logan Jack was the intended receiver, but it's incomplete. Too many mistakes so far by this New Orleans offense.
Yeah, New Orleans just has not had the connection, but we are going to have a Harry's close shave, close call challenge. They think he got a foot down.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look under the hood as we do get the Harry's close shave, close call challenge. And Gus, what do you think, man?
Well, I mean, he definitely has possession of this ball, and it looks like That right foot is down, but the camera doesn't quite show it particularly good. Hopefully the ref has a better look at it than we did.
The catch was made prior to going out of bounds.
And looks like the toe did get in, so we got some toe drag swag there on the sideline, and that will move the sticks for New Orleans. Chicago crowd not a fan of that, though, Gus.
No, absolutely not. They thought their defense had the big stop, and so to have the call overturned is kind of soul-crushing because it means New Orleans has a good chance at getting down for more points.
1st and 10 from the 44 now as Logan Jack barreling through defenders. What a play as he gets close to a gain of 10. Almost moving the sticks. 2nd and inches coming up here. From shape sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, we make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SIMULATIONFL at purchase from harrys.com. Portion of your purchase supports the SFL, Harry's official razor of the SFL. 2nd and inches now from the 34 for the Pharaohs. Handoff to Logan Jack. Jackson trouble right at the line of scrimmage. Gets just enough to move the sticks, and that'll be a 1st down for New Orleans.
He's actually met in the backfield there, but after that big reception on 1st down and running 2 over, he said, I will not be stopped right now. I am putting this team on my back, and I want us to get our 1st touchdown of the game on this drive.
Offset I formation this time for Gold. He's going to throw to the near sideline, and he's got Wolf, but he's got it out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Yep, and don't expect a challenge here. Wolf was well out by the time that ball is safely into his hands there. They've got to get the timing down on those outs so they can have a little bit safer of a catch there in order to keep this drive going.
3 wide outs for Xander Gold. I formation under center. Gold's got time, and he's going to go down. The pocket was looking good there, Gus, but it didn't look good for long as Gold goes down for another sack.
Yep, kind of a stunt blitz here as the outsides come in right away, but the defensive tackles just kind of hesitate for a second and then bring that pressure after the guard and center have kind of given up on their blocking assignments the way you want them to.
And just like that, New Orleans able to move the sticks as Matt Wolf with another catch. He's doing his best Deezer Powell impression tonight, Gus.
Yeah, Deezer Powell, normally the big deep threat. The game I called when they played Atlanta, Deezer Powell had a 60-plus yard touchdown and an 80-plus yard touchdown. But it has been the Matt Wolf show of these 2 wide receivers.
Into the SFL red zone we go. Xander Gold shuffling in the pocket. He'll finally throw to the far sideline. He's got Wolf once again on another 9-yard catch down at the 9 of Chicago.
And that's going to put Matt Wolf over 100 yards already on 8 catches. And they are once again within striking distance, but they've been down here before and had to kick 2 field goals. They really need this touchdown because they've had the same number of scoring drives as Chicago, but they're still behind.
Single back this time. Logan Jack barreling over defenders. What a play there by the 10th overall pick in the SFL draft, making it a 1st and goal.
Not a lot of finesse to the way Logan Jack has been carrying the ball, but he has been running people over like it is the only thing he knows how to do, and I love watching running backs run people over.
I mean, who doesn't like watching running backs bowl people over? Heavy set formation. We'll probably see more of Logan Jack, and we will, following blockers, and he'll make it out to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
Knocking right on the door, but their first scoring drive, they made it all the way down to the 2 before Chicago shut it down from the passing attempt. So if you're New Orleans, do you stay with the running game or do you trust your wide receivers on this one?
We'll see what happens here. Under center, Gold's going to hand it off to Jack again, and again he is stood up by the Chicago defense. Clint Hendershot, amongst others, getting in there and making the tackle.
Yep, a good stand. They read the run on that one. Even though New Orleans comes out with 3 wide, because they've got the fullback or a tight end there in the backfield, they think, no, we've stopped their passing game. They have to go for the run here. A very wise decision by the veteran linebacker.
3rd and goal. What will New Orleans do? Xander Gold shuffling in the pocket. He'll throw it to the end zone, and it's incomplete. This Chicago secondary has been grade A all night long.
Absolutely incredible work. This defense has bent but not broken, as they have kept New Orleans out of the end zone on just all of their drives. You know, there was the down to the 2 on their second drive, all the way up to about the 40 or so before the field goal on their previous drive, and now another very short field goal for New Orleans.
Decent snap, kick up and away, and another chip shot field goal in the books for Zen Lee. And 9 points now on the board for New Orleans, getting closer to that 14 on the scoreboard for Chicago.
But New Orleans doesn't want these on field goals. They go, hey, we've scored 3 times, and they've scored 2. We should be winning. They're just not getting it done in the last 10 to 15 yards of the field, and that's got to be very frustrating for this high-powered offense.
Cody Carter going to move the ball up the field, tackled right at the 28-yard line, and that's where Chicago and E.T. King will take over once again. E.T. King's been looking good, but not as good as Jared Willis on the ground. He's had a huge run of 85 yards to the end zone and over 100 yards rushing on the ground.
I mean, if you take off the 85-yard run, Jared Willis's stats actually look fairly reasonable. 10 attempts for about 20 or so yards. So, I mean, 2 yards a carry. But when you break one for 85, everybody's going to be in your corner.
That'll
A little bit burned on that one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 49 after that huge play going down the field for Chicago. E.T. King's going to pass again. He's in trouble. Avoids the sack the first time, not the second, as he goes down for a huge loss of 6.
Yep, and that's the beauty of what New Orleans has put together on their defense. If the first blitzer doesn't get the tackle made, that's Ray West who gets the first contact. There's another big body coming right at that quarterback. So you really have to recognize that and get the ball out faster. That is the 4th sack for the New Orleans Pharaohs.
King throwing the ball once again, batted down and incomplete. This New Orleans defense finally starting to step up and show their teeth here.
Yep, and they have to. They're still behind by a full score. So if New Orleans defense can't get the job done, they don't give their offense a chance to come out, find themselves, and reclaim this game. And I think New Orleans defense really prefers playing their ball with the lead.
So another 3rd and long, 5 wideouts this time for Chicago. Blitz is coming. He'll throw it deep down the field, and he's got his man all the way into the end zone as a touchdown for J.C. Torres. Another huge play for the Wildcats.
That is not the play call I was expecting here on this one, but J.C. Torres was wide open because I don't think the defense saw that coming either. He is all the way in behind the safeties there, and just nothing anybody can do once that decision is made to throw that ball. No safety is going to make up 6 yards on a wide receiver who has been led that expertly. E.T. King, a beautiful read on the defense and an even better throw to complete it.
This game's starting to get out of hand here a little bit. 20-9 pending the extra point to make it 21-9 in favor of the Wildcats, and that extra point is good. 21-9 is your score. 12-point lead here, Gus, and Chicago is definitely maintaining this momentum.
Yep, and they're doing all the right things. They're not getting too committed to the pass or too committed to the run where their offense starts to bog down, and their defense has just been phenomenal. They've kept one of the best passing games in the league down to only 200 yards and almost a 60-ish% completion rating for Xander Gold, who is third in all-time completion percentage at 72. So they're definitely messing with this New Orleans game plan.
And a standard return there, bringing it up the field to about the 30-yard line, is Aaron Arrington. Single back formation to start things off here for New Orleans, trying to get anything on the scoreboard other than a field goal. And this might do the trick as Matt Wolf starting to get them into Chicago territory. We've seen this before, but we'll see what they can do here.
Yep, and we need this fire from New Orleans. They have to start playing like their game is on the line right now because they still haven't found the end zone yet. We've played almost 3 full quarters of football, and one of the most prolific air passing games in the league totally shut out once they get down to the red zone. They play great in the middle of the field. Now they just have to figure out how to finish their drives.
Hand off to Logan Jack, and Jack following blockers. He's got room down the far sideline, and he'll make it out to the 29-yard line. Just maybe a stutter step, a stumble away from breaking it all the way, Gus.
Yeah, if he breaks one more tackle, there's nobody in behind him there. But that was outside linebacker Robert Boucher who catches up with him there at the last second to save that touchdown. And boy, would that have just been a momentum shift for New Orleans if Logan Jack breaks that all the way.
Pass this time for Gold, and he'll find Deezer Powell. He's been pretty quiet tonight, but a good gain of 8 there on first down gets them closer to the SFL red zone.
Yep, that's 7 catches for Deezer Powell, and we'll call it 75-ish yards. So,
Benny has had a rough look.
Not what we're used to seeing out of him, but a very reasonable night for a wide receiver. And of course, Wolf has been carrying so much of that workload, but I like to see them getting more balance in their passing.
Hand off to Jack. Jack lowering the shoulder, trying to use the truck stick, and he'll bring it out to the 17-yard line. Still move the sticks, still looking good for New Orleans here on this drive.
Yep, and Logan Jack up to 100 all-purpose yards now with that run, putting him at 72 on the ground, 31 through the air. So a good day for this New Orleans offense, just not the great day that they need.
Gold will throw it to the far sideline this time, and he's got a completion. That's out to the tight end, who, again, like you said earlier, you don't normally see it, but a good catch there for 6.
Yep, and they are in range once again. This is the 3rd time they've been down here in the SFL red zone, and you have to think if they don't get the touchdown here, they may be too demoralized to make the 4th quarter comeback.
We'll get one more play here in the 3rd quarter, and it's a handoff to Logan Jack. Jack is almost to the first down marker. They will blow it dead there, and that is 3 quarters in the books. Chicago with all the momentum here, but New Orleans within scoring position. We'll see what the Pharaohs can do here in the final frame. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Heavy formation for the Pharaohs, going right to left. Gold is going to throw, though, and he's going to throw it out to Jack, and he is knocked down behind the line. Hamrack with an incredible play to force the 4th down.
I think if you're New Orleans, you have to go for this here because a field goal means they are still 2 scores behind. I think they have to get a touchdown, but they are sending the field goal unit out all the same.
This will be the 4th field goal attempt here by Zen Lee. This one yet another chip shot. Up and through from 25. And that gets the Pharaohs into double digits. 21-12 your score in favor of the Wildcats currently.
Yep, and now with a 9-point deficit, the whole fourth quarter ahead of them, they need their defense to 3-and-out Chicago just repetitively, because if their offense can only put up field goals, they are going to need 3 more of them. They can't afford to let Chicago move the ball.
Cody Carter with another return, sidesteps a defender, another spin move, and a nifty little return for Cody Carter as he makes it out to the 32-yard line. The SFL is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library and Custom Music House, Bit Central and Fuel, Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave, Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL, MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. 1st and 10 from the 32 for the Wildcats. King with time, and he's got an open receiver towards the far sideline. That's Torres again, who had the big touchdown catch earlier, and he's up over 100 yards.
Well past 100 yards now, and 0 misses so far, having a tremendous day back there. And E.T. King, as much as he struggled last week, he has been on fire this week. Only 4 incomplete passes so far out of his 18 attempts, 2 touchdowns, and up over 200 yards now. Really, really getting this thing going well.
So 1st and 10 now from the New Orleans 47. King in the gun. He'll throw again, shuffling in the pocket. He'll throw to the near sideline, and they will call that a catch. I thought he was out of bounds. No matter, as it's only a gain of 1, as Willis not able to keep the feet in bounds for long.
Yeah, that throw needs to come out a little bit earlier because Willis has a ton of space in front of him there. So if that ball comes out faster, he can get that thing turned up the field and make that an 8, 9, 12-yard gain instead of just 1 yard.
3 wide receivers for King to work with this time, and he's going to throw deep to one of them. He's got it out to the 14-yard line into the SFL red zone. What a play there by E.T. King to Buchanan Simons.
Yeah, Buchanan Simons just continues to be the bit player in this passing game. That's only his 2nd catch on 5 targets so far, but 2 catches and 51 yards means that when they call his number and he can haul it in, he is coming up very big for them.
And there is just nothing this Pharaohs defense can do to stop this attack that the Wildcats have right now. All the momentum in Chicago's favor, as New Orleans has been highly erratic on offense tonight. 1st and 10 from the 14. High snap. King gets it down. He'll check it down short over the middle of the field. He's got Shan Varner, who had a long touchdown pass himself earlier today, and he'll make it out to the 8-yard line of New Orleans.
And we haven't heard much from Varner in a while. That's only his 3rd catch, but because the connection has been so strong with Torres and Sims and all the yards that Willis has picked up, they really haven't needed their veteran tight end as much.
Hand off to Willis. Willis keeping the legs churning, and he'll get marked just shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be a 3rd and 1 coming up here from the 5.
And I thought he'd pick that one up there as he kind of surges over the line there at the last second, but the referee's got a better view of that than I do, so we'll go with his call and a crucial 3rd down stop if you're New Orleans. You can't let them score another touchdown.
Got to get off the field here if you're New Orleans, and they will, it looks like, as they stop Willis in the backfield. Great play by the veteran Aaron Arrington getting in there, making the stop.
Yep, just a tremendous push from their defensive line to blow that run up in the backfield. And they have to blow it up in the backfield because if he makes the line of scrimmage, Willis can fall forward and get the 1st down. So forcing the field goal keeps this manageable. Now it's up to Xander Gold and that offense to figure out the formula to create touchdowns.
So we'll see Jesus Garcia here from about 23. They'll mark it at 22 as he does boot it up and through his 1st field goal attempt on the evening.
Yeah, the 1st field goal attempt of the evening coming in the 4th down. means their offensive coordinator has got it all going on for them. Every time they get down there, they have found a way to convert for the touchdown. So Chicago really putting a good offensive game plan together.
24-12 your score now as Aaron Arrington will field it, at the 10-yard line, trying to reverse field and go back the other way, but he will be marked down at the 30-yard line. The SFL is brought to you in part by MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women, Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories, Quip, perfect oral care, delivered, Richards Printworks, the official shop of the SFL, ScoreStream, the official score updates app of the SFL, and SpyGoat, the sound choice. As Logan Jack, that's the fullback getting a catch out of the backfield there, Cartwright, but he's not able to cross the line of scrimmage there. It's going to be a loss of 1.
And I think we need to see a little bit more hurry up in the New Orleans passing game here. They've only got 7 minutes left, and they are down by 12 points. They need 2 scores, and they just don't have time to play this underneath stuff anymore.
I would agree with you there, Gus. High formation as Xander Gold is going to throw. Hit as he's thrown as he gets it out to Jack. And Logan Jack doing his absolute best to keep the ball moving forward. He'll only get a gain of 5 on that play, so it'll be 3rd and 6 coming up here.
But I don't think that's the end of the world. You're in 4-down territory here, so 3rd and 6. Don't be too crazy with this. Get a good completion, and then just go for it if you come up a little short.
6.5 minutes and counting to go here in the final frame. Throws it out to Deezer Powell, and Deezer's going to be marked shy. Oh, no. He was so close to the first down marker, and he'll get dragged down just inches short, and it'll be 4th down.
And he's got a block on that one. If the throw's a little more out in front, Deezer should be able to turn the speed on and get around that tackle. Oh, no. What? New Orleans, why are you punting? No,
I can't believe
this.
Grassmanis will indeed punt. I can't believe this decision here, Gus. With 6 minutes left to go here, Chicago's going to get the ball back, and they have every opportunity to run this clock out.
Every opportunity to run it out, and the opportunity to put more points on the board. You know, the Chicago team has only punted on 4 of their drives, and of course they let the clock run out at the half, but they're scoring on 50% of their drives. New Orleans is already down by 12. Even if they just give up a field goal, suddenly they're behind by probably 3 scores.
King is in the gun and gonna throw, but he's not gonna get a pass off as Zig Washington gets in there for his first sack of the ball game.
Yep, haven't had a lot of chances to talk about Zig Washington there, but he is a force to be reckoned with coming up the middle of the field. He's somebody that they brought on from Oklahoma at the start of this season, and he has looked really good at times. Just we don't quite see him as much as Ray West.
Bunched wide receivers for Chicago. Mac McDaniel going for the swat there. Couldn't quite get there as Cody Carter makes it out across the first down marker to the 40-yard line, and just like that, they move the sticks.
You know, and I don't blame Mac for going up trying to get this pick here. In the situation, you need a big, crucial play, and so trying to ball hawk that one and go for the pick 6, actually probably the right decision, even though you're going to give up maybe the first down.
And we're going to get another Harry's close shave, close call challenge here, as New Orleans thinks that he stepped out of bounds prior to making the first down. We'll have to take a look.
That angle there looks pretty obvious that he's got that ball past the first down marker. I think we're going to have to say this play stands.
The Pharaohs will not be charged with a timeout.
I'm interested to see where they're going to mark this here, if they're going to overturn that call. Because I'm not sure where exactly he was out of bounds prior to the first down.
I don't know, but it's, you know, it didn't bring up a 4th down, so Chicago's going to have the opportunity to convert it.
And they do indeed convert it here as Willis gets just enough to convert the first down. So the challenge all for naught as the drive extends once again.
And that has to be heartbreaking. You know, you think you've got the opportunity to keep them under wraps. You win your challenge, and it's like, all right, third down, we can do this. And then you just let a little dribble up the middle, and now you're back at first down.
Looks like Chicago trying to run the clock out, and Jared Willis has plenty of room down the near sideline. Finally knocked down by a big hit at the New Orleans 45, and he still stays in bounds, so the clock will continue to run.
Yep, and Jared Willis up at around 120 yards already on this game. And, you know, that's kind of the formula in Chicago. They're averaging 122 rushing yards per game, second in the league. And if they continue running the ball, we might see them up to about 150 or so and totally icing this thing up.
We'll see our first MeUndies laundry on the field here as we get the penalty marker on the field. Free play for Chicago, and they'll get some free yards here.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 95, defense.
The good old neutral zone infraction. A little unfortunate that it comes on a running play because, you know, as it's going to be free, you like to take a shot down the field there. But knowing that whatever the outcome of the play is will be positive for you has to feel good.
And we get a look at Jared Willis and the rest of the Chicago Wildcats offense, who have been absolutely incredible tonight. 1st and 5 coming up here after the penalty. 4:06 frozen on the clock momentarily, but another handoff by Jared Willis will get things going. And boy, what a hit there as Aaron Arrington lays the wood. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/simulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping, and returns. Signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. Second and 2 this time around. 3:30 and counting to go in the ball game. Handoff again to Willis, and Willis will get marked just shy of the first down marker. Good defensive pressure there by the New Orleans line.
Good pressure, but not enough really to keep that ball from going forward. And that's really been the story all day for this New Orleans defense, is that they're doing a lot of the right things, but coming up just a tiny bit short, and it shows on the scoreboard. They've allowed 24 points so far. Chicago may very well end up with another at least 3 here on this drive, and their offense just no finishing ability tonight.
Handoff to Willis, who will get the first down and more, still breaking tackles out to the 26-yard line of New Orleans. And that pretty much just tells the story of the game there. No matter what New Orleans tries, Chicago just a little bit better tonight.
Yeah, Chicago's offensive line has looked shaky at times so far. They've allowed 4 sacks tonight. They've had a lot of runs blown up in the backfield. But then about half the time, their offensive line gets this big push and blows these huge lanes open for Willis to run through. And he has taken full advantage of that, up at 136 yards of rushing so far.
We'll see one more play before the quick 2-minute warning. Fully expect to see another handoff here, as it is another Willis handoff and another Willis touchdown.
I am in shock and awe at the blocking on this one, and then Willis lowering the shoulder through all of those tackle attempts. What an incredible run for him, and another touchdown for Chicago. That surely is the icing on the cake.
His second rushing touchdown just prior to the quick 2-minute warning. 1:59 left to go here in the ball game, and Chicago pretty much has this thing in hand. 30-12 your score right now, with an extra point coming up. You've been watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. kick is up and good. 30-12 your score. Excuse me, 31-12 your score now. And this will pretty much do it here, Gus. New Orleans definitely needed the ball back and did not need another score by Chicago there.
And the story of this game really has been Chicago's third down defense. New Orleans has attempted 14 third down conversions and has only been able to complete 6 of them so far. And coming into this game, New Orleans was the very best third down team in the league. And for Chicago to come down, shut that out, and force 4 punts and 4 field goals. Absolutely stunning work from this defensive unit. They've got a lot to be proud of tonight.
Especially after, like we said, after that debacle last week against Vancouver in Canada, this is a heck of a bounce back game here for the Wildcats as Deezer Powell gets a catch there for 4 yards.
The Chicago boys not used to that Canadian cold. I know Chicago's a little bit cold, but they come home, they play in the dome, they got that nice home cooking, and they really came out tonight and showed their best. Just straight across the board, this is how Chicago wants to win football games.
Gold is going to throw, obviously, here. He's trying to get the Matt Wolf post route, but it's going to be an interception in favor of Blake Hamrack and the Wildcats, and that will for sure put the final nail in the coffin.
Yep, nails in coffins all over the field, from the touchdown run from Willis, this interception. If you're New Orleans, you just have to take this one with a grain of salt. When you came out on that last drive and punted instead of going for it, that was kind of them already pre-conceding the game. And this was really just a fluff drive for them. Try to get something to be proud of on the way.
And Jared Willis with another big handoff here. New Orleans just trying to preserve the inevitable as they call their first time out.
And that's actually the backup running back, Bovino. Haven't seen a lot of him lately, but he'll be happy to get some touches in here in the final minutes of this game.
Second and 2 with 1:40 left to go here. Another handoff, and it is Bovino. And Enrico Bovino makes it out to the 34-yard line. And that'll move the sticks once again. Another timeout called by New Orleans.
And I think with only the one extra timeout left, this is going to be it. Chicago should be able to fully run the clock out now without another first down conversion. And if you're New Orleans, you've got a lot of things that you can be pretty happy about. Xander Gold, 261 yards. Not his best day, but 76 yards of rushing from Logan Jack is a very good day. I think really the whole thing for them is they have to figure out how to get third down execution back, because they were in scoring position 4 times and kicked 4 field goals, and every other drive they punt the ball away. They have to get better on third down if they want to continue competing at the high level that they did through the first 3 weeks.
And we're talking chip shot field goals here too, Gus. We're not even talking about these lengthy field goals that they couldn't quite just make it. They were getting into the red zone consistently, and every time they got into the red zone and got deep into the red zone, they settled for a field goal, and that's just not winning football, unfortunately.
They kicked 3 field goals where they got inside 5 yards. They had the one field goal that was a 45-yarder, and you say, okay, a good defensive stand there. But they were in sniffing distance of the goal line on 3 drives and couldn't find the connection. A tremendous job of red zone defense by Chicago.
Absolutely, and you mentioned this earlier as well. Tremendous job up front with this offensive line. Even in the chat, we're getting some folks saying, geez, offensive line is so good, even the backup's getting some good yardage here.
Yeah, they're at 162 yards of rushing for Jared Willis, and it looks like the backup probably going to be clocking in about 30 or 40 himself. If you put up 200 yards of rushing as a team, you are never going to be angry at the outcome of your games. That just doesn't happen.
We'll see one last Chicago punt here, as the outcome of this is pretty much moot, although just everything going Chicago's way tonight, pinning them back at the 5-yard line. What a punt.
Yeah, we should see one play here, probably run out the chuck it and pray and see what happens for New Orleans, but that should be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're calling a player of the game, I'm calling it Jared Willis. 19 carries, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns, plus 7 catches coming out of the backfield as well.
Certainly can't say no to that, as that will be our final play of the ball game. Chicago with a commanding win here, 31-12, your final score, as we get a look at the 2K Sports post-game show. Pretty evenly matched as far as yards and turnovers go. It was just a matter of, like we said, getting into the end zone versus kicking field goals.
Yep, and the third down play from Chicago's defense made their offense's job easier because it kept them out in front of this New Orleans offense the whole time. And I think New Orleans was just a little confused as to what to do while they were playing from behind, and that's why they couldn't find the hookups they wanted.
As we get a look at the final stats and highlights here, definitely a ton to be proud of if you're Chicago, as we've mentioned. New Orleans with a setback here, but there were definitely some good things as we're getting a look at Logan Jack highlights and things like that. So 2-2 is certainly not the end of the world here for New Orleans. Chicago moving to 3-1 on the year, certainly looking good for them to start things off. Well, Gus, any final thoughts before we let the people go?
Chicago, a tremendous bounce back from a very rough loss. They are definitely a team that is very scary. They have continued to play some of the best teams in the league going forward, and at 3-1, they are a team poised to make a deep playoff run if they keep this performance up.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and taking a look at this presentation of the SFL, presented by APM Music live on YouTube. On behalf of Gus Schultz, Jeff Molinishin on stats tonight, my name is Eric Vinson. Your 2K Sports player of the game, Jared Willis. Good call, Gus. 20 attempts, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, with a couple receiving yards coming out of the backfield. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. You have a great night. We'll see you next week.